In today's video, we are going to take a look at the cost of owning a dog. Hello and welcome. My name is Peter B. and I welcome you here at My First Million, where we are achieving our financial goals together. So for starting off this video, I need to make a confession. As I grew up on a farm, I love animals, and especially I love dogs. As a child, I considered my dog, Bella, as one of my closest friends, and I really loved to spend time with her. So this keeping in mind, and I will never forget the many memories I could spend with our dog. Bella was our farm dog who was taking care and protecting our farm from strangers. But I have a lot of many fond memories of her. For instance, as a farm dog, she used to know she could walk around the farm freely. There wasn't any fence or anything from stopping her to go away. However, she knew exactly where her territory are. We were able to train her. This is the area from your home. And she was able to move freely around. She only came out of the farm area if we asked her to come with us. And I took her many times with my tracker for either trip, and sometimes I also took her to look after the cows on the grassland. So I took her sometimes with me, and I also never forget, like when I was driving around a tracker to work on something, to help out my father and my family on something. Sometimes she was sitting on the tracker next to me and was driving around with me. And she knew as long as she was allowed to, she can stay with me. But sometimes I needed to go maybe somewhere that I couldn't take her with me. Then I could quickly stop the tracker more or less in closer proximity to the farm. And I could tell her, Bella, go home. And she will jump off the tracker and run back home and will stay at home. So she was a very lovely dog and a very nice dog, and also helped out. So I really enjoyed the feeling growing up with such a good friend. So, but of course, here we are focusing on, in this channel, on the money aspect of owning a dog. Of course, first and foremost, it's the experiences with the dog that will lead you to make a decision whether or not you should get a dog. So, but as said, here the goal is to focus on the money side. But still, I want to start off with the fundamental question. If you're considering of getting a dog, really consider first, why do you consider to get a dog? Why you want to have a dog? And again, we are only covering the financial aspects here on this channel. So even though maybe you will hear some financial reason not to own a dog, of course there are maybe others, much bigger reasons why you should be owning a dog. So when you decide to get a dog and want to have a financial plan for it, I think there are three basic questions that you need to answer first in order to evaluate how much it will cost you to own a dog. One big question will be, who will be taking care of the dog? Can you do it by yourself? Do you have family members to jump in if you are busy or need to do something? Or do you need outside help? Maybe hire a dog walker, or sometimes when you need to travel around, do you need to take your dog to a dog hotel who can take care of your dog in the meantime? Then the second question is animal health. And I think this is a very emotional question that you need to be aware of before owning a dog for first time. Once you own a dog, your heart will get attached to the dog. But the dog is aging much faster than a human. So you most likely will experience the dog getting old, will have health issues, and maybe even at the end of his life, maybe can have severe health issues. So you need to prepare, and also you need to have a mindset. What are you willing to do for the dog at this situation and times when they arise? Because there will be decisions coming up to you which are related to the dog's healthcare treatments, which could be quite costly. And then the last basic financial related question is, what standard of living you want to provide for the dog. For us, for instance, a farm dog doesn't need much to have a happy life. But if, depending where you're living and depending on what is important for you, maybe you will have more expenses for grooming or for toys and so on. Once you figured out those 3 fundamental questions, once you answered those by yourself, here's an overview of all the cost that you need to take into consideration. The first one, adoption fee, is a one-time cost, and I always put a range, a minimum range to maximum range, so a low to high. And of course, sometimes it could be even a little bit lower, or if you are very extensive, of what you want to afford for your dog, it could be much higher than the high. But this is the usual range of different sources that I found, and I link the sources here at the bottom of the slide. So the first cost, starting off with getting a dog. There could be in some situations that you can get a dog for free, or you need to pay some adoption fee, or if you want to have some specific breeds, if you care more about getting a specific breeds and not getting a dog from a shelter, you need to buy a dog. And this could be, depending on the breed, could get very expensive. So I put in here in a range from $0 to $5,000. So it really, as you see, the initial questions before has a huge effect on the range. Then again, the first area, pet insurance, routine care, vaccines, prevention medication, and so on, supplements. These are the healthcare related expense that you need to factor in. If the dog is healthy, you still maybe want to go to regular checkups, or will you only bring the dog to the vet when he has some health issues? And if he has health issues, what treatments are you able to provide for the dog and are willing to provide for the dog? So I think this is a big area here that you need to think about first. Then there are a lot of things here for related to the lifestyle, like a crate, leash, collar, toys, food and water bowls, grooming, and so on. And also the treats and dental chews are all related on the lifestyle of the dog. So what lifestyle do you want to give for the dog? So depending on your decision, can be pretty cheap, or it can get very expensive to own a dog. Then the third factor we already answered at the first 3 questions also, who can take care of the dog? And depending on that answer, you might need to spend a lot of money for dog walking, or like having a babysitter for the dog when you're out of town. And maybe you also need to budget in some additional expense for training so that the other person is able to take care of your dog well. So as you can see in the total here, it really very much depends on the answers of the first 3 questions on how much a dog really costs for you. So it could be between $380 to $9,350 of annual expense just for your dog. So what does this mean for a lifetime dog? So if you are getting a dog, this is not just a one annual expense decision. It's usually a decision for the next 10 to 13 years. The expected lifetime of dogs is 10 to 13 years. So bigger dogs, which maybe have higher expense, usually have a tendency to live a little bit less long. And smaller dogs who maybe, because of their size, have a little bit smaller expense and lower expense, they tend to live a little bit longer than bigger dogs. So, but the expected lifetime is 10 to 13 years. With an annual cost of $380 to $9,350, the total lifetime cost of making the decision is basically between $3,800 up to $121,000. So it could be a huge range that you will have cost on over the next decade or so. But as this is a financial channel, we cannot just consider the money outflow. We also should be considering the cost of opportunity. what would you do with the money if you wouldn't spend it on a dog? Ideally, our recommendation is always try to save as much as possible and then use these savings to invest. So if we could save this money and put them into investing, and let's say we have a 30-year time horizon for the investment to compound. So if we can expect a return of 7.2%, this money would double every 10 years. So with a 30-year time horizon, this initial amount of 3,800 to 121,000 US dollar, the cost of opportunity would be somewhere between 30,000 and close to 1 million US dollar. So you can see the decision of owning a dog is a huge decision, not just from a lifestyle perspective. You need to be able to take care of the dog, but also financially. So make sure when you are making the decision that you're ready for it, both for the changes that the dog brings to your life and also be ready financially to support the life. I currently, even though I love dogs, I currently don't own a dog. My main concern of not owning a dog now is I cannot provide a happy life for him with the environment that he would be living in a small apartment, with limited space of going out, maybe also with us being limited, having limited time on the day, be able to go out for walks. So this is my main concern currently, why I currently don't own a dog. But again, as mentioned at the introduction, I love dogs and I can understand everyone who want to get a dog. Just make sure that you are ready for it, for your lifestyle changes, and also be ready financially to support the dog. Do you own a dog? What are your experiences with owning a dog? What changes brought the dog to your life? Please share in the comments below. Also share in the comments your cost experiences of owning a dog. And also mention if I missed anything or if according to your experiences any of the amount that I have listed is different, so we can learn from one another and share our experiences. Thanks a lot for joining me today. I look forward to see you in the next video, and especially I look forward to see you winning financially.